जगद्व्यापिनीं वीणापुस्तकधारिणीं अधरामि हस्ते स्फाटिकमालिकां विदधतीं पद्मासने संस्थिता वन्दे तां परमेश्वरीं भगवतीं बुद्धिप्रदां शारदा।
Thank you, dignitaries, for gracing this sacred moment with your presence.
Let us now watch a special video presentation that showcases the legacy and vision of BCIB Trust.
Seva Smarak Trust Society. The Banarsidas Chandiwala Seva Smarak Trust Society was founded by Shri Rich Kishan Chandiwala ji, who was a freedom fighter and a close associate of Mahatma Gandhi.
Rich Krishanji was born in the year 1900 in a highly regarded Chandiwala family who were silver traders in Chandni Chowk in Delhi.
He was educated at St. Stephen's College, Delhi, where he happened to meet Bapu for the first time in 1918. His meeting with Bapu deeply influenced Rich Kishanji, and he became his ardent follower and a close associate. Rich Kishanji took to meager meals and to wearing khadi under Gandhiji's influence. He would not use any mattress but would sleep on rugs. He used to spin khadi on spinning wheel and would wear clothes made from that yarn only.
Though a prolific writer, but he was frugal with the usage of paper and would make sure to use it till its last bit.
While in Delhi, Gandhiji used to often stay at Chandiwala's Haveli at Chatra Pushpal Rai.
He was also there in 1924, where he observed his 21-day long fast for communal harmony.
During the 1930s, Rich Kishanji helped organize the Stonebreakers of Delhi into a union, took up cases of violation of their rights with the Delhi administrators and in courts of law to ensure better compliance of government regulations regarding their work and to get compensation for them. Though he was asked by Bapu not to participate in Salt March in 1930, but he quit eating sugar and salt after that and did not do so for more than 50 years until mandated by his doctors. Rich Kishanji was with Gandhiji on the day of his assassination, and it was he who prepared Gandhiji's body for cremation.
Rich Krishanji's devotion for Bapu had no bounds. He authored a 3-volume book, Gandhiji Ki Delhi Diary, which chronicles Gandhi's day in Delhi. The other notable book that he authored in Hindi was titled Bapu Ke Charnon Mein, which was later translated into English as At the Feet of Bapu.
He was affectionately called as Bhaiji by his associates. Taking the responsibility of providing human service in education post-independence, Rich Kishanji founded Shri Banarsidas Chandiwala Seva Smarak Trust Society in 1952 in the memory of his father late Shri Banarsidas Chandiwala.
Post independence, women education was a big challenge and of utmost significance. And Shri Brish Krishanji addressed this issue by setting up Janki Devi Memorial College in the memory of his mother, Srimati Janki Devi ji. It was started in barracks at Rouse Avenue and was inaugurated by Mrs. Indira Gandhi in 1959.
The foundation stone for the present building was laid at an off-North campus site in central Delhi at Sir Gangaram Hospital Mount to cater central and West Delhi population by Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru in 1960. This followed by laying of the foundation stone for the residential quarters by the fourth President of India, Shri V.V. Giri.
Janki Devi Memorial College is one of the prominent seats for women education in Delhi and is an autonomous institution affiliated to Delhi University.
The other educational institute for girls run by the trust is Janki Devi Vocational Center that equips the girls with vocational skills and paves the way towards their economic independence. 1963 for his devotion and contributions in the field of social services. Shri Banarsidas Chandiwala Seva Smarak Trust Society runs 4 professional colleges affiliated to Guru Gobind Singh Indraprastha University.
Banarsi Das Chandiwala Institute of Physiotherapy is approved by Delhi Council of Physiotherapy and Occupational Therapy, Government of NCT Delhi, and is categorized as Grade A plus by SFRC.
Banarsidas Chandiwala Institute of Information Technology and Banarsidas Chandiwala Institute of Professional Studies Dwarka are both AICTE approved institutes also and categorized as Grade A plus and Grade A by SFRC respectively.
Banarsi Das Chandiwala Institute of Hotel Management and Catering Technology. It is an AICTE approved and NAC accredited institute and also categorized as Grade A plus by SFRC.
Furthering the other mission, health, the Trust Society is running multi-speciality hospitals, dispensaries, and healthcare centers and offering varied services through Banarsidas Chandiwala Institute of Medical Sciences and Eye Hospital at Kalkaji, New Delhi. Banarsidas Chandiwala Eye and Dental Care Center, Jama Masjid. And Banarsidas Chandiwala Eye Hospital in Motihari, Bihar.
A heartfelt thank you to the BCIP Trust for being the pillar of the inspiration behind all the academic and professional journeys.
Now, to officially commence the proceedings, we call upon a guiding force of our institution, Dr. C.S. Ram Sir, Director of the college, for the opening note. Please welcome him with a warm round of applause.
A very warm good morning to all the distinguished guests. Professor Dr. Jayanand from Shobhit University, Meerut. He's the Pro Vice Chancellor there. Professor Dr. Manoj Kumar Sharma, who is a professor at ITS College of Pharmacy, Muradnagar, Ghaziabad. Mrs. Swarna Srivastav, she is founder of Zeya IP and also an Indian patent agent. We would be soon joined by Professor Zafar from Galgotia University and also Dr. Pooja Sethi from RML Hospital, who will be coming post-lunch. It is indeed my pleasure and my honor to welcome you all for this research symposium being hosted by Banarsidas Chandiwala Institute of Physiotherapy. On behalf of the trust, I would like to extend my welcome note and also gratitude for all the guests for coming all the way and trying to share whatever niche area they have developed themselves in with the students. Coming to the topic of this symposium, research. Research is something which is very close to the heart of any person who is on a scientific endeavor. And it is the proud moment for us that we have such distinguished people amongst us who have dedicated their lives for research. Today, students, you will be all seeing what difference it makes when you hear somebody who is having more than 25 years of experience in research. And also, how beautifully and in a very simple way things can be taught even to the novice, even to the people who are very new to research. With these words, I would not take much time because the formal introduction will be given by Mr. Japan. So I would once again like to welcome all the distinguished guests. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir.
Now, the time has come to showcase the heart of our symposia, the research presentations.
I invite my coordinator for the session, Arpita and Aditya, to come forward and lead us through the presentation of our brilliant researchers.
Thank you, Japan and Anshita, for such a wonderful start. Now it is a distinct pleasure to introduce to you a truly accomplished individual who stands at the forefront of pharmaceutical education and research, Dr. Manoj Kumar Sharma. Dr. Sharma currently holds the esteemed position of professor at ITS College of Pharmacy in Muradnagar. His dedication to shaping future pharmacists is evident in his extensive experience in academia, spanning over 15 years in various professorial roles.
Sir's academic journey is marked by a profound commitment to learning in the diverse range of expertise. Sir holds a PhD computer science, demonstrating a unique interdisciplinary approach to his work. Furthermore, his foundational knowledge is science is robust, with both a master's and a bachelor's degree in science. Dr. Sharma also holds a Master of Computer Application degree and a Bachelor of Education in the Science group, showcasing his multifaceted educational background. Recognizing the importance of statistical rigor in research, Sir has also completed short courses on biostatistics from the prestigious Christian Medical College, Vellore.
Sir's commitment to continuous learning is further highlighted by his completion of several SWAYAM and NPTEL certificate courses in areas like data analysis, biostatistics, and machine learning. Sir has a strong grasp on optimization techniques including Chebyshev goal programming and fuzzy goal programming and has also contributed to the field of multi-objective stratified random sampling methods.
Sir's proficiency extends to various programming languages and mathematical modeling software, including MATLAB, C++, and Mathematica. Sir also actively participated in conferences and workshops, presenting his work and engaging with the broader academic community, even receiving a Best Paper Award at an international conference in Bangkok.
Beyond his academic and research endeavors, he has served as a coordinator for AICTE sponsored faculty development programs, organizing secretary for seminars and conferences, and a nodal officer for various government initiatives. Sir has also been instrumental in coordinating student induction programs and national level academic events.
Sir is here to present the topic Data Analysis Using Statistical Package for the Social Science, SPSS, a powerful software used for data management, statistical analysis, and a graphical representation of data, commonly used in research across social sciences, health sciences, businesses, and more. So please join us in warm welcoming Dr. Manoj Kumar Sharma. Welcome, sir.
We would like to call Director Sir to felicitate Sir as well.
Good morning, everyone. Okay. So first of all, thanks to Dr. Ram sir and Dr. Jain and Ma'am Swarna and management of this college. Today I am here to explain the term data analysis using with the help of a statistical software SPSS. The first part is data analysis. In first lecture, I will explain you what is data and how we analyze this data. Because in the research field, analysis is very important. Every time we have collected data. So the first term is data. Or you know what is data? Information. Anybody tell what is data? If I say that number of students present here, 20 girls, 40 boys, this is a data. Any information, yes, बताइए, what is data? और बता सकते हैं कुछ नहीं? Okay, I will explain you. So in the today lecture, I will explain the following terms: what is statistics, then types of data. After that, how we summarize our data, and after the summarization, how we test the significance of the data. In the significance of the data, there are different types of tests to test the significance, and after that, I will explain you t-test and one-way ANOVA. So this is the total content for this lecture. So first of all, I will explain you what is statistics or what is biostatistics. These are different two terms. So, first of all, we see that statistics is defined as the collection, presentation, analysis, and interpretation of the. आप बताएंगे क्या पढ़ा मैंने? हैं? Statistics is defined as collection, presentation, analysis, and interpretation of numerical data. It means statistics is a branch of mathematical science which is related to our data. We also say statistics is the science and art of dealing with figure and facts. So this is the statistics. And now what is biostatistics? When we apply statistics in the field of mathematical science, then this statistics is called biostatistics. So we can say biostatistics is a parliamentary word made from biology and statistics. Biostatistics is also called biometry. Bio, in Greek terms, bio means life and meter means measured. So we can say biostatics is measured of life. So in biostatics, we measure the data related to our life. Next is biostatics. Explain it you in detail. It is the science which deals with development and application of the most appropriate methods for the collection of the data, presentation of the collected data, analysis and interpretation of the result, and making decision on the basis of study design. So these are the main four terms when we do research. First step is we first collect the data. To collect the data, there are different methods to collect the data, and it depends upon the types of data or type of the study. After collection the data, the second step is to present the data. The data can be represented in different forms, either in the form of tables or in the form of graphs or charts. And also we test the significance of the data. Is our research is significant or not? So to test the significance, we analyze our data with the help of different statistical tests. And after the test, we get inference from the result, and on the basis of the result, we take the decision: is the results are applicable for future or not? So these are the main four steps in the biostatistics. First step is summarization of the data. The data. What is data? So you can say the answer to questions or measurement from the experiment. If you do any experiment and you measure anything, for example, in a treatment, you measure the grip strength, angle of flexion, weight, pain reduction, blood pressure, pulse rate. These are all data. The data types. The data are two types. First is constant and second is variable. As you see, constant means the term which cannot change from place, person or time. This is called constant. And variable is another term which is important for us. A variable, it is a characteristic that facts on different value in different person, place or things. कोई भी करेक्टरिस्टिक जो प्लेस, पर्सन और टाइम के अकॉर्डिंग चेंज होता है, उसी को आप वेरिएबल कहते हैं. फॉर एग्जांपल, हार्ट रेट. Everybody present here have different heart rate. It is also change with the time or height of adults. Everybody have different heights, so it is also a variable. Weight, it is also a variable. Age of patient coming in your clinic, so age is also a variable. So variable is a characteristic which is changed to person, place and time. वेरिएबल वो करेक्टरिस्टिक है जो प्लेस, पर्सन और टाइम के अकॉर्डिंग चेंज हो जाए. मैं बार बार एक ही लाइन को इसलिए बोल रहा हूं आपको समझ में आ जाए वेरिएबल क्या है. तो वेरिएबल वो वैल्यू है कि करेक्टरिस्टिक है जो प्लेस, पर्सन और टाइम के अकॉर्डिंग चेंज हो जाए. Now, there are different types of variables. There are, yes, first is quantitative variable. Quantitative variables further divided into two types: continuous quantitative variable and discrete quantitative variable. Another type of variable is qualitative variable, and the qualitative variable divided into two categories: nominal and ordinal. So these are mainly four types of variable. First is quantitative variable. The quantitative variable, those characteristics which can be measured, जिसको आप मेजर कर सकते हैं, either with the help of instrument, for example pulse rate, blood sugar level, grip strength, angle of flexion, वो सब क्वांटिटेटिव वेरिएबल्स. Quantitative variables, as I have told in previous slide, are two types: continuous and discrete. Continuous variable, a value within a specified relevant interval of values assumed by the variable. In simply we can say कंटिन्यूअस वेरिएबल बिल्कुल एक लेमैन की लैंग्वेज में आप ऐसे समझ सकते हैं, जिस वेरिएबल को मेजर करते टाइम डेसिमल आता है, जिसमें डेसिमल आ जाता है, क्योंकि अभी मैं आपसे कहूंगा दो वैल्यूज के मिडल में सारी वैल्यूज आती है, कई बार बच्चे नहीं समझ पाते. ये जैसे इसमें लिखा हुआ है द कैन assume any value within a specified relevant interval of value assumed by the variable. Simply, the variable, when measured, the units come in decimal. Value जो है उसकी decimal में आ जाए, वो आपका continuous variable है. Height continuous है, weight, skull circumference, age, grip strength, these are continuous variable. Second type is discrete variable. Discrete variable जिसे आप quantify तो कर सके, but उसमें डेसिमल नहीं है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, द नंबर ऑफ डेली एडमिशंस टू ए जनरल हॉस्पिटल और द नंबर ऑफ पेशेंट कमिंग इन योर क्लिनिक. तो दिस इज द डिस्क्रीट वेरिएबल बिकॉज द वैल्यू कम इन 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. Never come 1.1, 2.1 and so on. So this is the discrete quantitative variable. So quantitative variable which can be measured or quantified, and these are two types: continuous and discrete. Second is qualitative variable. Qualitative variable shows the quality. It gives the quality. It cannot be measured with the numbers or an instrument. So it is a characteristic are not capable of being measured. Some of them in ordinal or rank. Qualitative variable are two types. First is ordinal and second is nominal. Qualitative variable gives the quality. For example, honesty. Honesty is a qualitative variable. Eye color is a qualitative variable. Hair color is a qualitative variable. So qualitative variable shows the quality of the, or you can say it is a characteristic which shows the quality. These are two types. Ordinal. The ordinal qualitative variable have a definite order, either ascending order or descending order. So, for example, grade of oral cancer, better, same, worst, or disease stage, mild, moderate, severe, chronic. या आपके 10th क्लास के ग्रेड, 12th क्लास के ग्रेड ए बी सी डी जो आपने मार्किंग में आपको मिला, वो भी ऑर्डिनल वेरिएबल है, क्वालिटेटिव वेरिएबल है. स्टेटस ऑफ ओरल हाइजीन, पुअर, फेयर, गुड, pain score, mild, moderate, severe. So these are the ordinal qualitative variable. They have a definite order, either in ascending or in descending. Second is nominal variable. Nominal variable is qualitative variable and it cannot be categorized. So, and it gives the any name. For example, race, Indian, Russian, American is a nominal variable. Gender, male, female, this is a nominal variable. Or attendance, present, absent, it is also a nominal variable. So these are the two types of variable. Or blood group, A group, B group is also a nominal variable. So we have four types of variable. First is quantitative. Quantitative divided into two categories, continuous and discrete. And qualitative further divided into nominal and ordinal. To summarize, to analyze the data, we should know about how we measure our variables. So what is the scale of measurement for these types of variables? There are mainly four types of measurement scale: nominal, ordinal, ratio level and interval level. So these are the four level of measurement scale. The nominal and ordinal scale are used to measure the qualitative variable, while the interval level and ratio level are used to measure the quantitative variables. Nominal level, as it defined with the word nominal. Nominal come from name. That means इसमें हम एक नेम असाइन करते हैं. जैसे जेंडर में आपने कहा मेल, फीमेल, it does not have any order. Either male is greater or female is greater. In nominal, you have assigned only name. The name, it classified data, names, labels or categories in which no order or ranking. इसमें कोई order नहीं होगा. ये nominal है. And each have different codings. For example, the number of course in your college, in your institute, BPT, MPT, MCA, BCA. So course is a nominal variable and we measure by the nominal scale because here we are giving names. Second, ordinal, it classifies data into different categories that can be ordered either in ascending or descending. Already I have explained the lateral grades A, B, C, D or pain. You measure the pain in VAS score 0 to 10, but we can categorize into like this: 0 to 5 is mild, 5 to 8 moderate, and greater than severe. So the VAS score 0, 1 to 10 can be categorized like this: mild, moderate, severe. So it is a ordinal measurement of scale. Next is quantitative variable. Quantitative variable, we have two types of level of measurement. Interval level of measurement. In interval level of measurement, the different units measures exist, but there no actual zero exists. इसमें actual zero नहीं होगा. For example, IQ score. So if I have IQ score 10 and she have IQ score 20, so you can say the IQ, इनका IQ मेरे से डबल है. You say, but is it possible the IQ score is 0? Yes? No. तो एक्चुअली में जो इंटरवल रेशियो स्केल है इसमें एक्चुअल जीरो एग्जिस्ट नहीं करता. इसलिए दूसरा जो है रेशियो लेवल ऑफ मेजरमेंट. इन रेशियो लेवल ऑफ मेजरमेंट a actual zero is exist. So has the all characteristic the interval level, but a true zero exists. Also, when the true ratios exist when the same variables is measured on two different members of population. For example, weight of an individual. It makes sense to say that 50 kilogram of adult weight twice as much a 25 kilogram child. So, can you say weight may be possible 0? Weight 0 नहीं हो सकता. Yes, मेरे पास ज्यादा टाइम नहीं, बहुत बताना है. हाँ, वेट क्या है? वेट इज इक्वल टू mg. Is it clear? Okay. So this is the level of measurement. Data types: quantitative and qualitative. Qualitative can be measured by nominal and ordinal, and quantitative further divide in two types: discrete and continuous. And the level of measurement for discrete is interval and ratio, and continuous also interval and ratio. Now the second step in summarization of the data is numerical presentation of the data. When we collect our data, we want to present our data to our research guide or to another person. So to present our data, we have two types of presentation. One is numerical presentation. In numerical presentation, we form the tables. So to form the tables, there are two types of generally we form the tables. First is simple frequency distribution table. In simple frequency distribution table, SFDT, when we form a table, we should write the title of the table. This is the first step. With the help of title, another person can understand कि ये टेबल क्या शो करता. तो सबसे पहले आपको टाइटल जरूर लिखना. Second, when we form the table, there are three columns in the simple frequency table. First is variable, or you can say name of variable. When you write the name of variable, you should also write the unit of the variable. Okay? For example, if our variable is height, then you should write a height in centimeter or millimeter. किस में है? So you should write the unit. Second is, in second column we write the frequency, and in the third column we write the percentage. In the variable there are different categories. For example, I take an example, a blood group. This is an example distribution of 50 patients at the particular department of a particular hospital, and these 50 patients have different blood groups. The 12 patients have A blood group, 18 patients have B blood group. So we write first the name is blood group, then we write the frequency, and we convert it also into percentage. So this is a simple frequency distribution table to represent the data. here one thing is absent in the blood group variable. When we write the name of variable, I tell you that we should write the unit of the variable also. तो क्या इसमें यूनिट लिखी जाएगी या नहीं लिखी जाएगी? ब्लड ग्रुप की कोई यूनिट है? नहीं है, ठीक है। अगर यहाँ पर हाइट होता, वेट होता, तब हम उसकी यूनिट लिखेंगे। ओके, दिस इज द सिंपल फ्रीक्वेंसी डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन टेबल। एंड सेकंड टाइप इज contingency tables or complex frequency distribution table, CFDT. In simple frequency distribution table we have one variable, while in complex frequency distribution table or contingency tables we have two variables, or here one value can be represented by the two variables. Next, this is the complex frequency distribution table. Here 20 lung cancer patient at the chest department of particular hospital and 40 controls in particular year according to smoking. So here are two variables, one is smoking status and second is lung cancer. So in smoking we have two categories, smokers and non-smokers. And the another variable is lung cancer, and it has also two categories, lung cancer present or lung cancer absent, or you can say the person who have lung cancer, this is called cases, and those do not have lung cancer are controls. So lung cancer is also two categories. Here you can see in this table two variables, smoking and lung cancer. So if you see here, the number 15, the one number 15 defined by two terms, lung cancer and smoker. In lung cancer, it can be defined by cases. So 15 shows that the 15% are smokers who have cancer. The next 8, it shows that the smokers who have are control are कितने हैं वो? 8 numbers हैं। तो it means यहाँ पर आप एक वैल्यू को दो वेरिएबल से डिफाइन करते हैं। एक 15 को दो चीजें डिपेंड कर रहा है, केसेस पर और स्मोकिंग स्टेटस पर। So this is the complex frequency distribution table. And in contingency table, in this table, the one important point you should keep in your mind, generally these types of table we form for the cause and effect. So the cause always write in rows and effect always write in columns. So here cause is smoking and effect is cancer or lung cancer. So lung cancer in columns and smoking status or smoking and non-smoker two category write in rows. So when we find any association between two variables or simply two qualitative variables, we should write cause in rows and columns में effect लिखना है। ये सबसे important point आपको बताना है। Next, this is another example. Next, now the presentation of the data with the help of graph. This is another method to present the graph. First is line graph. In line graph, we take variables on x-axis and the frequency on y-axis. This is a line graph of maternal mortality rate of country 1960 to 2000, and you observe that in 1960 50% out of 1000. In 1970 this is 45 out to 1000, and we form this is the line graph. Another representation is bar graph. In bar graph, sorry, histogram. Histogram is a continuous frequency distribution curve. It is a representation of continuous data. A representation of frequency distribution by means of rectangles with where the width of the bar represents the frequency and the length represents the time interval. This is the histogram in which we have different age categories, and this is the distribution of 100 cholera patients at particular place in time by their age. So 25 to 30 we have 3 persons, 30 to 40 we have 5 persons, and 40 to 45 we have 7, and so 45 to 60 we have 4, and 60 to 65 we have 2 persons. We first convert it also into percentage, like 3 upon 21 into 100, it will convert into 14.3% and so on. And we form, this is the histogram. So this is the continuous frequency distribution of the data. Next is bar diagram. In bar diagram, we represent the data by the help of different bars, and the height of bars represent the data. In bar diagram, we take variable on x-axis and the frequency take on y-axis. This is the simple bar diagram. Here, the variable is marital status, and marital status have 4 categories: single, married, divorced, and widowed. So we take marital status variable on x-axis and the number of person single, number of person married, number of person divorced, we take on y-axis. And this we have take percentage, so this is called percentage bar diagram. So you see here 25% are single, 45% are married, and so on. So this is the single bar diagram. Second is cluster bar diagram or multiple bar diagram. When our one variable further classified into another category, for example, marital status have also another variable, male and female. We want to show how many males are married, how many females are married. So here we have 2 variables, gender and marital status. So both these 2 variables we want to represent with the help of graph in the bar diagram. So we form at that time cluster bar chart. In cluster bar chart, there are 2 categories. Gender have male and female, and marital status has single, married, divorced, and widowed. You observe from the bars, the red color shows the males and white color shows the females. This male and female you show in the rectangle, these are called legends. These are called legends. So this is the cluster bar chart. Next is, after the presentation of the data, another representation is pie chart. Pie chart is the circular representation of the qualitative data. In qualitative data, in pie chart, we remember one point only. You can form with the help of Excel or other way. पाई चार्ट केवल एक ही वेरिएबल का बनाया जा सकता है, ठीक है। फॉर एग्जांपल, जैसे पिछला मेरा एक एग्जांपल था जिसमें मैंने लिखा मैरिटल स्टेटस और मेल और फीमेल। तो मैरिटल स्टेटस मैं ये अगर शो करना चाहूं कि कितने मेल्स मैरिड हैं, कितने फीमेल्स मैरिड हैं, जैसे लास्ट बार डायग्राम में बनाया, हेलो, हाँ जी, थैंक यू। तो हम उसका पाई चार्ट नहीं बना सकते, We cannot form a pie chart of two variables. We form pie chart only one variable. In pie chart, it is a circular representation of the data where each category of variable can be defined by the sectors. For example, here we have three categories of this variable: inversion, deletion, translocation. So this is the pie chart. Okay, so we represent the data with the help of tables and with the help of graphs, and these are the main representation of the data, basic representation of the data. After that, the next step is test of significance. In test of significance, first is what is the meaning of significance. When you collect your data in your research, is the result are significant? How can you say the results are significant? So what is the meaning of significant? आपने कोई ट्रीटमेंट किया पेन रिडक्शन के लिए, तो आप ये कैसे कहेंगे कि वो जो चेंजेस आए वो आपके ट्रीटमेंट की वजह से आए या बाय चांस आए? तो सिग्निफिकेंस मींस द चेंजेस आर रियल, not by chance. So when you say the changes are due to my treatment, then that means the results are significant. So, but as you know, the result may not be 100%. So we say that the significance means the changes are real at given level of probability, and it may be, if you say the given level of probability is 5%, that means 95 times the result comes by your treatment and 5 times may come by chance. And if you say 1% of probability, so then the result comes due to your treatment 99% times by your treatment and 1% by chance. So significance means the changes are real, not by chance, at particular given level of probability. So this is the main. So how we test the significance of the data. So before going to test how we test the significance of the data, I tell you a small term, p value. If I say p value is 0.05, it means the findings have 5% chance not being true and 95% chance being true, or simply the 95% due to your treatment and 5 times by chance. To test the significance of the data, we have different types of tests, and these are two types of tests: parametric test and non-parametric test. When we test our data, we apply the different types of tests to test our data, and these are two types: parametric and non-parametric. Parametric test, if our data is normally distributed, then we say the tests are parametric test, or we use parametric test of significance. The parametric test to test the quantitative data. We remember the parametric test is applied when our data is normally distributed. In parametric test, we have different tests like t-test, ANOVA, z-test, Pearson correlation. These are the simple parametric tests. While in non-parametric test, these tests are used when our data is not normally distributed, or you can say our data is skewed data, or if our data is qualitative data. Okay? Also sometimes if your sample size is very small, then we also use parametric test. So parametric tests are Different parametric tests like Marr-Whitney test, Wilcoxon sign rank test, Pearson chi-square test, Kruskal-Wallis test. These are the different non-parametric tests. In parametric test, you should one point kept in your mind. We will compare the means of the data. In parametric test, we compare the means, while in non-parametric test, we compare the medians. Next. So I told you that what is parametric test, non-parametric test. In non-parametric test, if data is not normal and data is if normal, then we apply parametric test. So what is the meaning of normal distribution? Sometimes I observe that when I say the students to the data is normally distributed, तो normal means not कि जैसे लाइक हमारी बॉडी का टेम्परेचर नॉर्मल है 37 डिग्री सेल्सियस, तो ऐसी डेटा का भी कुछ कोई करेक्टरिस्टिक होगी नॉर्मल के लिए. तो वो करेक्टरिस्टिक क्या है कि इफ वी प्लॉट द फ्रीक्वेंसी डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ द डेटा, it will be the bell shape. This is the first method to test the normality of the data. So in normal distribution curve, if we plot the frequency distribution curve, we find the bell-shaped curve. In this bell-shaped curve, most of the data lies near the central value and it has less variation. Another method to test the normality of the data is the mean and median and mode. All three characteristic central tendency of the data are same, but it cannot easy to calculate sometimes when our data is very large, mean, median and mode. So another method we have, it is a hypothetical condition. Sometimes it's not possible mean, median and mode are same. So another method is you find the standard deviation of the data. If the standard deviation is 1/3 of the mean or 30% of the mean, then you say the data is normally distributed. If sample size is very large, so sometimes we consider if standard deviation is less than 50% of mean, we say the data is normally distributed. And another method, there are two types of tests to test the normality of the data: Shapiro-Wilks test and Kolmogorov-Smirnov test. These tests also used to test the normality of the data. And for continuous data, we also test by the Leibniz test. So before applying to test of significance of data, we should check the normality of the data, because we test the data with the help of different types of tests, but we should use the appropriate test to test the significance of the data. Generally, most अगर आप देखें तो लोग टी टेस्ट लगा देते हैं, जबकि कई बार टी टेस्ट एप्लीकेबल नहीं है, या फिर कुछ केसेस में वो एनोवा लगाएंगे जबकि एनोवा वहां एप्लीकेबल नहीं है, कोरिलेशन के लिए पियर्सन लगाएंगे. तो यू शुड अप्लाई एप्रोप्रिएट टेस्ट ऑफ सिग्निफिकेंस. हो सकता है आपका वो पब्लिकेशन किसी छोटे जर्नल में छप जाए, लेकिन अगर आप एक हाई क्वालिटी इंडेक्स रिसर्च पेपर जर्नल में पब्लिश करना चाहते हैं, तो यू शुड अप्लाई द एप्रोप्रिएट टेस्ट. एंड which test will be used, this is depend upon the types of data and the normality of the data. The first step is normality of the data. So these are the different types of tests, parametric and non-parametric. In parametric, we have some assumptions about our data, while in non-parametric, we have no assumptions about our data. For example, in parametric test, we assume our data is randomly distributed and also normally distributed. So these are the assumptions. Second, in parametric test, we have central tendency mean value, while in non-parametric test, the central value is median. In parametric test, we correlate two values by the Pearson correlation, and in non-parametric test, we apply Spearman correlation. For probabilistic distribution, in parametric is normal, in non-parametric it is skewed. In parametric test, the population knowledge is required, while in non-parametric test, the population knowledge does not require. So, because there are some demerits in non-parametric test, so generally the results of non-parametric test are not used for the generalization of the data. जो आप उस डेटा से रिजल्ट मिलेंगे उनको आप जनरलाइज नहीं कर सकते. खत्म हो गया क्या सर? अच्छा, okay. So in parametric test, these are Z test, T test, one-way ANOVA, and so on. And in non-parametric test, Kruskal-Wallis test, Mann-Whitney test, and so on. So this slide is important. We have two types of test, parametric and non-parametric. So if we want to compare two groups, in parametric test, we apply student t-test or t-test, independent t-test. अगर आप two groups को अलग-अलग compare करना चाहते हैं, between two groups, in parametric, you should apply independent t-test. And in parametric test, the alternate of independent t-test is Mann-Whitney u-test. The Mann-Whitney u-test is the alternate of t-test. And if you want to compare the results within groups, for example, आप किसी एक का pre and post compare करना चाहते हैं, then you apply paired t-test. If you want to compare the pre and post values, pre-treatment values, post-treatment values, that means within group, then you apply in parametric test paired t-test. And in non-parametric test, the alternate of paired t-test is Wilcoxon-Simon test. And if you want to compare more than two groups, then you apply in parametric test one-way ANOVA or two-way ANOVA. That means we apply ANOVA or analysis of variance. When you want to compare more than two groups, and the alternate of one-way ANOVA is Kruskal-Wallis test. So be remember, if you want to compare between two groups, you should apply student t-test, and if you want to compare more than two groups, between two groups, t-test, and more than two groups, between the groups, you should apply one-way ANOVA. These are the main tests. And if you want to compare within groups at different time intervals, I observed many times, this is the main thing. Main जो लोग गलतियां कर रहे हैं, आपने अपने पेशेंट का, सपोज यू आर ट्रीटेड ए पेशेंट एट फॉर पेन रिडक्शन, so you observe the pain at baseline and after 15 days, and you want to compare these two intervals, so you apply pair t test. And if you have another time interval after 30 days, after 1 month, after 3 months, so then we have different time periods, time intervals. So generally students are applying pair t test, baseline to 15 days, baseline to 30 days, baseline to etc. Then 15 days to 30 days, 30 days to 40 days. I advise to you that don't use the paired t-test at that time. You should apply repeated measure of ANOVA. Be remember, for parametric test, you should apply repeated measure of ANOVA. जो हाई इंडेक्स जर्नल्स हैं वो रिपीटेड मेजर एनोवा को कंसीडर करते हैं. And for non-parametric test, you should apply Friedman test. So these are the main tests of significance. And now I explain you the most favorable test of significance, t-test. किसी भी स्टूडेंट को t-test सबसे ज्यादा पसंद आता है, सबसे ज्यादा फेवरेबल है, तो इसको तो अच्छे से एक्सप्लेन करना होगा. What is t-test? The t-test developed by William Gossett, and whose pet name is student. So this test is also known as student t-test. T-test, we remember, t-test is a parametric test of significance. So you can apply t-test when your data is normally distributed and data is continuous, and in test the central value compare means. These three things are very important for the t-test. In t-test we compare the means of the data, okay, and it applies for continuous data, and it can be applied when our data is normally distributed. Normally distributed means the frequency distribution curve of the data is bell-shaped. So t-tests are three types. One sample t-test, these are the assumptions. First I explain you that these are the assumptions of t-test. In t-test we have some assumption our data. First, the sample is randomly selected. Here the random means not at random. Randomly selected means everybody have equal chance to select. When I explain the sample is randomly selected, the student think about at random. It's not at random. Randomly means everybody have equal chance to select. So we have an assumption when we apply t-test, our sample is randomly selected and the groups have equal valencies. Or you can say the variants are homogeneous. It can be tested by Leibniz test. The t-test is robust. क्यों है ये? बोलो, इसमें मैंने लाइन लिखी है, क्या लिखी है नीचे सबसे लास्ट में? The t-test is statistically robust. It is reasonably reliable, even if assumptions are not fully met. ये तब भी हमारे लिए फायदेमंद हो जाता है. तो इसलिए t-test बहुत ज्यादा फेवरेट है स्टूडेंट्स को. नेक्स्ट, these are the different types of t-test. mainly three types of t-test, one sample t-test. In one sample t-test, we compare a theoretical mean with the sampled mean. In one sample t-test, we compare a theoretical mean or a gold standard mean with the sample mean. Second is independent t-test. Independent t-test or student independent t-test, or you can say t-test for two independent groups. This test is used to test the means of two independent groups. That means here patients are different in both groups. Treatment may be same. For example, you have a treatment to reduce the pain and you form male and female two groups. The treatment and you want to test कि आपका ये पेन रिडक्शन ट्रीटमेंट मेल पर ज्यादा बेटर है या फीमेल पर ज्यादा बेटर है, तब भी हम इंडिपेंडेंट टी टेस्ट लगाएंगे बिकॉज पेशेंट आर डिफरेंट. नाउ एक दूसरा है एग्जांपल, वी हैव टू ट्रीटमेंट्स. एक जैसे इफ फॉर एग्जांपल वी हैव टू ड्रग्स, एक न्यू ड्रग है एक एग्जिस्टिंग ड्रग है, आप उनको कंपेयर करना चाहते हैं. तो एक ग्रुप को आपने एग्जिस्टिंग ड्रग दिया, एक को न्यू ड्रग दिया, एंड टू टेस्ट द मीन्स ऑफ दीज टू ड्रग्स वी आल्सो अप्लाई टी टेस्ट. तो इन student independent t test, so in independent t test you should remember that the patient are different in both groups. Why? If you want the third is paired t test. In paired t test the patient are same. आप मेरे पर ही दो ट्रीटमेंट अप्लाई करके देख सकते हैं कौन सा ट्रीटमेंट बेटर है, या फिर मेरी प्री और पोस्ट वैल्यू को कंपेयर करें, तब भी आपका पेयर टी टेस्ट लगेगा. इन पेयर टी टेस्ट द पेशेंट आर सेम, व्हाइल इन independent t test patient are different. So this is the main difference between these tests. The first one sample t test, I explain you used to measuring a whether a sample value significantly different from a hypothetical value. In this we compare a hypothetical value with the sample value. For example, a research scholar might hypothesize that on an average it takes 3 minutes for people to drink a standard cup of coffee. So he conducts an experiment and measure how long it takes his subjects to drink a standard cup of coffee. The one sample t-test measure whether the mean amount of time it took the experimental group to complete task varies significantly from the hypothesized 3-minute value. तो क्या जब 3 मिनट जैसे है उसने सैंपल लिया, सैंपल से उन लोगों को कॉफी पिला के देखा, उसका मीन सपोज 2.5 आया सैंपल मीन और हाइपोथेटिकल मीन है 3. So is the difference between 2.5 or 3 significant or not? So we apply one sample t-test. I take another example. These are the steps in one sample t-test. First, the assumption is randomization. That means our sample is randomly selected, normally distributed, and the population, normal population means the frequency distribution is normal. So these are the main steps in test of significance. First, we state null hypothesis. Null hypothesis means a hypothetical statement about our study which we want to reject at the end of a study. There are so many definitions for null hypothesis, but there is only one thing, the statement which we want to reject at the end of study. इस तरीके से आप इसको अच्छे से याद कर सकते हैं. In null hypothesis, we take no difference. We take No difference. So why we take no difference? If जैसे इसमें कहेंगे हम कि मेरा ट्रीटमेंट नए ट्रीटमेंट से बेटर नहीं है, ये हम नल हाइपोथेसिस लेके चलते हैं. तो व्हाई वी टेक नो डिफरेंस? सपोज देयर इज a research question, all crows are black. लंबा तो नहीं होगा, शॉर्ट कर दूंगा. Suppose a research question, all crows are black. How will you test this research question? You have 2 years and find the research question, all crows black in Delhi. So how will you test this? You have 2 ways. Search crows and check either it is black or not, and after 2 years you say the all crows are black. The another person, for example, doctor, he is very smart. He think, इन्होंने एक स्टेटमेंट लिखा, all crows are not black. So he searched a white crow. And he find 2 years तक इन्होंने केवल ये देखा व्हाइट क्रो है या नहीं. एंड आफ्टर 2 years इन्हें कोई व्हाइट क्रो नहीं मिला. तो इन्होंने स्टेटमेंट लिखा था ऑल क्रोज आर नॉट ब्लैक. और जब इन्हें व्हाइट क्रो नहीं मिला तो इन्होंने लास्ट में कह दिया ऑल क्रोज आर ब्लैक. तो सो इट इज इजी टू डिस्प्रूव देन प्रूव. It is easy to disprove than prove. So we take null hypothesis. There is no difference between the two means, and these are the steps for one sample test. Here, hypothetical mean equal to the sample mean. Then we write alternate hypothesis, and this is mu is not equal to mu naught. Third step is level of significance. This is the first type of error. Be remember, in standard condition, the level of significance is 5%. In standard condition, sometimes we need more precise result, we take it 1%. Next we apply, find the degree of freedom, this is n-1, and then we find a test statistic t equal to x minus mu upon standard error. And last step is inference. And if our calculated value t is less than the tabulated of value t, then we say there is no significant difference, or we accept the null hypothesis. Because in a standard condition we have some t tabulated values. So this is a formula we have already done. Next, for example, 10 individuals taken an exam and we want to test whether their scores altogether are significantly different from the score of 100. So here 100, the means of 10, 100 is the hypothetical value. And to check this hypothetical value, we select 10 students and find the means of their scores, and the sample mean is 107.8 and standard deviation 5.35. So we want to test is the difference between 107.8 and 100 is significant or not. So first we consider the null hypothesis, that the sample mean is equal to the population mean. In alternate hypothesis, sample mean is not equal to.
Sir, I request you to be short.
Okay. मैं कर रहा हूँ, सब जल्दी से खत्म हो.
Actually, you can continue later because you have another session also.
Okay.
Afternoon. So you can continue in that session also. ठीक है. तो अभी कितना है सर आप?
5 मिनट कवर कर देते.
Okay.
I am not going to calculation. So if the calculated value here t is 2.26 on applying the calculation, and the tabulated value is 4.61. So the 2.26 is the less than the standard value 4.61. So we say there is no significant difference, or एक सेकंड, क्या हुआ सर, मैं कंफ्यूज हो गया. Calculated value is 4.61 and critical value is 2.26. So our calculated value is greater than, in this example, is tabulated value. So we reject the null hypothesis. So we say the difference between 107.8 and 100 is significant. यानी कि ये बाय चांस नहीं है. This is the one sample t test. Second is, this is the tabulated value of t for different degree of freedom and different level of significance. Now the independent t test for two groups. In independent t test, as I already told you that it applied for two independent groups. The patient in two groups are, for example, we want to compare the mean cholesterol levels in treatment group with the placebo group after taking exercise to reduce the cholesterol level. In independent t test, these are the steps. The means of two samples are equal, mu1 equal to mu2 and mu1 alternate, mu1 is not equal to mu2. Next level of significance and so on. This is an example. Here we have to control, one group control and another is treated. Mutation breeding experiment for relation of mu. And we want to compare that, is there any significant difference between these two treatments. So you see here, there are two different groups. So we apply independent t-test. I am not going for calculation. These are the hypothesis and so on. So this is the step to calculation. First we find the mean. Second we find the x1 square. Then we find the mean of second group and then x2 square sum. And then we find mean is this, you know, the sum of observation divided by number of observation is 3.46, f2 3.07. This is the formula for standard error. And so you see the calculated value is 3.2.27. So calculated value 2.27 and the degree for degree of freedom 18 and the level of significance. The tabulated value 2.87. So 2.27 is less than the 2.87. So we say there is no significant difference between the two variety of treatments. और तो इनकी yield में जो difference है, अब देखिए एक का one mean is 3.46, the second mean is 3.07. There is a difference, but this difference is not significant as but with the help of test statistic. So we can say here the difference is by chance, not significant. Next, pair t test. As I already tell you, when we want to compare pre and post values, then we apply pair t test. Like pre-pain score, post-pain score during a treatment of pain reduction. And the formula for t test is t equal to b mean upon standard error. This is the formula for pair t test, where standard error is summation d square minus summation d whole square divided by n upon n minus 1, where d is the difference between the pre and post values. And in France it's same. For example, we want to compare the rainfall at two places in different years. So we apply pair t test and on calculation it find the means दिखा दो बच्चे. If calculated value for this example is 3.10, which is also less than the 3.25. So we can say here also the difference between the two rainfalls is not significant. That means it is by chance. Now third is ANOVA. ANOVA is one analysis of variance, and if you want to compare the more than two groups, then we apply ANOVA. And ANOVA is two types: one-way ANOVA and two-way ANOVA. One in ANOVA we apply F test. In one-way ANOVA, we categorize our data on the basis of one characteristics. For example, if you have three types of treatment to compare the pain reduction, then you apply one-way ANOVA. And if you want to also interested to test कि आपके जो वो तीन ट्रीटमेंट हैं वो मेल में ज्यादा बेटर हैं या फीमेल में ज्यादा बेटर हैं, then the data classified on the basis of two category: gender and type of treatment. So in this case you will apply two-way ANOVA. This is the ANOVA table. When we find we have, these are the source of variation. There are two types of source of variation: between samples and within samples. Second degree of freedom. Next is mean sum of square, and then we find the F ratio. With the help of F ratio, we check is the difference between the more than two groups is significant or not. So I will explain the next lecture how we apply this F test. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, and sorry for interrupting in between. Actually, our next speakers are waiting. So, thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for such a wonderful session. I hope our audience will carry the knowledge outside the room and will be helpful for them. Now I request Director Sir to felicitate Dr. Sharma with a piece of appreciation.
Furthermore, we are highly thrilled to introduce a dynamic and accomplished academic leader who has dedicated his career to driving excellence in higher education, Professor Jayanand.
Sir is currently serving as the Pro Vice Chancellor at Shobit Deemed University in Meerut. His commitment to the university is further underscored by his ex officio memberships in key decision making bodies, including the Board of Management, Executive Council, Academic Council, and the Planning and Monitoring Board.
Professor brings with him a wealth of experience, boasting an impressive 22 years in teaching and research. His dedication to scholarly pursuits is evident in his significant research contributions, which includes over 65 research papers published in national and international peer-reviewed journals. Furthermore, Sir has authored 8 books and contributed to numerous book chapters, solidifying his position as a leading voice in his field. Beyond his research accomplishments, Professor Jayanand is a committed mentor who has successfully supervised numerous PhD, MTech, and Phil scholars, nurturing the next generation of researchers and academics.
Sir is a Pro Vice Chancellor at Shobit Deemed University, but the leadership journey started by serving as a professor and registrar at university for 8 years, showcasing his long-standing commitment for the institution. Prior to this, Sir held significant administrative roles at Noida International University, including acting Vice Chancellor, Professor, and Registrar.
Professor Jayanand's academic foundation is strong, culminating in a PhD from the prestigious Jawaharlal Nehru University, JNU, in New Delhi, with a focus on bioelectromagnetism, biophysics, biomedical sciences, and environmental sciences. This interdisciplinary background enriches his perspective and contributes to his holistic approach to academic leadership.
Sir is here to put some light and share his expert opinions on public ethics, which are moral principles and standards that guide behavior, decision making, and actions in the public sector. Please join in extending a warm welcome to Sir. I would like to invite Director Sir to felicitate Professor Jain.
Feeling sleepy? I will awake you, that I assure you. Good afternoon. Oh, I'm Dr. Jayanand, and I'm basically the medical physicist, medical physics expert, or earlier we were calling it biophysics, and then after its application came in the physiotherapy. So, first of all, thank you, Dr. Ram, my old pal. Uh, we are associated since 2005 or 2004, and uh, here we will discuss. I do not want to make it monologue. Please communicate with me. Wherever you find that you need to ask any question, please go ahead. My topic is research methodology. I will make my talk as I have. I got the time of 45 minutes, so I will try not to exceed my time limit. I will put my lecture or my talk in three categories. First of all, I will be giving you the details of what is the medical research, what to be done, being a physiotherapist. I think you all are from either the BPT graduation side or the MPT side. What, where we can do. Generally, we think that research is basically uh, the cup of tea for the higher studies. It is not. It is not true. It can be started in the graduation also, provided what you are doing, you should know. If you are treating any patient, you can extract the research from there also. First of all, we will understand what is the research. Then after, please concentrate on my talk. If you wish to talk with among yourself, you can go out. I'm very hard task master in that way. So, uh, if you wish to do the research in the undergraduation, you have the opportunity. If you take the data from the patients and how to keep the data for publicating the findings. So, after research, how to do the publication? May I ask you, how many of you published any article? You. Okay. Anyone? You are in MPT? Okay. It was the patient data or the review paper? Review paper. How many of you know that what kind of publication manuscript can be published? It may be review paper, it may be a research article or experiment based article, it may be short communication, it may be case study. Okay, different kind of publication you may publish in journal. Now, how do you find that which journal is better? Have you heard about the Q rating? Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, Q rating of journal. You just go and Google it. You just put on the search word that SJR. It will come. The first link will come there. Any journal, if you are putting over there the name of journal, it will give you the information whether the journal is Q1, Q2, or Q3, Q4. Okay, Q1 is the best one. It may be a SCI cited journal or SCI index journal. Okay, SCI is the highly rated journal. Then after is Scopus. Then after review paper. Okay, there are a number of. So can we have next? Here, what is the importance of research in physiotherapy? What benefit it will give you? Research informs the clinical decision. Means if you are taking any decision, it can, because of your research, it will give you the information that whether you should take the risk or not, whether you should apply any kind of new protocol or new medication process or not. Ensure the treatments are safe or effective. If you have done any research, so your implementation, your remedials are whether the safe or not. This information can be taken from the research. Support the patient specific care. So it cares the patient in different ways. It drives creation of newly therapeutic techniques, promotes development of assistive technologies, improves long-term health functions, refines rehabilitation protocols, research strengthens physiotherapy standing healthcare, facilitates interdisciplinary collaborations. Sometimes what happens, I used to be the scientist in All India Institute AIMS Delhi. That time, I used to get the patient from the trauma center. We were working on a spinal cord injured patient that is complete, either the hemiplegia or complete transaction. Okay, and I had the responsibility because the patient may not get any improvement by the pharmacological intervention. So there comes the role of the physiotherapy. And I had the chance to work on the patients with transcranial magnetic field, reverse transcranial magnetic field. There are blood butterfly coils, and we were giving the magnetic field through the spines. And we were seeing that whether the gait scale is going up or not, BB score is going up or not. Okay. Do you know what is gait scale? Gait cycle? You know, you have the gait machine over here? Okay. Next, please. Now, type of research questions. I was narrating one story here. So, there in All India Institute, I was, after postdoctoral research, I was the scientist over there. And because the patient was giving the consent, that consent, how to take the consent from the patient and what to be written over there. So that is the part of research also. And what findings we got in the treatment procedure. So that is the part of research. The type of research question, descriptive, It may be descriptive. First of all, you will be knowing that what is the research question or what is the problem. Like if you have any problem, if the patient is having any problem on which you are working on the research, it may be arthritis, it may be something osteoporosis, it may be something else. Okay, any rehabilitation disease. Okay, so that problem should be the question. This may be descriptive, comparative, collateral, explanatory, evaluation, and the action based. The definitions are there. You can uh, go through because I have no time. I have to skip on. Please. In the research, what we do, we first write the abstract. That is the gist of your whole research. So do not write the abstract in first. First you do go through the research manuscript and then after you come back to the abstract. So abstract is having the whole manuscript in very brief manner. Now the abstracts are of different types. I will come to that point. These days, good journals are asking the abstract in the pictorial view. So how to make those kind of abstracts, I will let you know. Abstract introduction. Introduction is introduction about everything. You are keeping the reader at your level. Means if I am the layman, layman means I'm educated person, but I am not from your exact research background. I should come to your level after reading the introduction. So all the definitions, all the abbreviations, all the methodological process to be introduced in the introduction. Then after literature review means suppose I am doing any work, suppose diabetes I am working on. Till date, what kind of work been done on diabetes? Okay, and what is their findings? So that has to be chronologically reviewed. And then after, if you do the review, during the process of review, you will find the research gap. Means the problem is still not sorted out. So where is the gap? That missing link should be evaluated. After research review, at the end of research review, you will find the research gap. Then after methodology, how you will be filling up that research gap. So that is the methodology by which what protocol you will be following. Then after key findings, what you have received, what are the findings you have received, that is the result part. Then after you will be discussing. Discussion is basically you will be comparing your data with others' data, the previous workers. Okay, and then after you can say that my treatment is further more ahead as compared to the previous one. Then summarization, then after future research part. Next, please. Types of abstract. So these are just the bookish things. I'm just explaining those. If you find any difficulty, you may raise your hand. I will explain again. Descriptive abstract. It is short type. It is written over there, 50 to 100 words. So now these days, because limitations of the paper, the number of journals are having very limited space for the abstract. So that is descriptive abstract. Informative abstract, it is little bit bigger. The structured abstract, sometimes what is the difference between informative and structure? In informative, you have the single paragraph in the abstract. In structure, you will have the bullet points, the research design, then after introduction, then after methodology, then after key findings, and then after conclusion and discussion are not there. That is structure. Unstructured, free flowing, without anything, without interruption of any heads. Graphical, as I said you, These days, number of journals are asking for the graphical representation. There, right from the initiation of the sampling, means right from the subject inclusion and exclusion criteria, and then after the last conclusion, you make the pictorial presentation. It may be diagrammatic, it may be your own picture you have taken from your microscope or anything else. Critical abstract, it is rare, but it is also a part of abstract. Means sometimes journal needs that you should be critic of your own research. So abstract in the critical side. Next, please. So this is basically the whole process: introduction, method, result, discussion, and conclusion. Next, please. What is the introduction? You can introduce the topic, what topic you are going to explain in the journal or in your research. Then after background to be written very what is the background? Can anybody explain me that what should be kept in the background? No one? Okay, background means like you must be studying this epidemiology, the facts. What is the background? Suppose any disease you take, arthritis you take, postmenopausal arthritis you take. Okay. So what is the scenario, global scenario, Indian scenario? If you are localized, then you can take the sample of data of Delhi also, and you will be having the data. If you want to take the data, ICMR is available. You go there and you can get the data from there. Uh, then after research problem means what exactly the lacuna, the drawback or not drawback, what the gap of research, that is the research problem. Then after objective, okay, and methodology. This everything will be introduced in the introduction part. Next, please. How to write the introduction? This is basically the spotlight. By if you go through, I have given this slide to Dr. Ram. You may get it from him. So go through. It is well explained over here that how to write the introduction, because I want to give you a lot of information. In fact, some of you might be graduating the MPT this year. So I will explain you how to go for the funding from the granting agency. So introduction you may go through from the slide. Next, please. Literature review. The introduction is over. Literature review, a very crucial thing, what to be done. Sometimes what happens, if you are working on anything, any disease or any research which do not have any background, no one has worked on that research, so you may not have the literature review. Here it comes, means uh, I'm I'm just asking you, what is the research and what is the means invention? What is the difference between research and invention? Research is you have the pathway, somebody worked on that, but still the problem is not sorted. You are just taking the work ahead. Okay? So that is the research, because you are reviewing the previous thing and then you make your own path. That is the research. Sometimes कोई कह देता है कि research means research, फिर से उसी काम को करना. That is not true. Research means you have the pathway. You have some background. Some of the scientific workers have worked on the same topic, but I'm asking you. Still, we do not have the solution of paraplegia. That is true. Because neurological generation is very rare. It is not possible. Now these days, the stem cells are pushing in. Okay. Lot of treatments are coming in. Nanomedicines have come up. Okay, for that. So this 6 type of literature reviews are there: systematic, integrative, historical, scoping, narrative, and metasynthesis. These all different types of uh, literature reviews are there, and you can follow it. It follows the clear and systemic methodology. That is the systemic literature review. Means there should be some fashion in the systemic. Integrative, it critically reviews the literature to identify the strength and weakness. Means if you are reviewing any uh, manuscript written by somebody else, that is the review. So you critically analyze what is the benefit, what is the strength and what is the weakness, and if you are putting up in the review, that is integrative, historical, chronological order, right from the बाबा आदम के जमाने से अब तक क्या काम हुआ है, तो that is the historical. Scoping, the scope based narrative synthesize the literature to identify the patterns and trends, and metasynthesis integrates the interprets. Means different kind of suppose you are working on any disease and different interventions have come, then you are segregating with the uh, different heads. Okay, so that kind of review will come in the metasynthesis. Okay, next please. Now, how to conduct the literature review? It's a like funnel. Lot of funnel will come today. The first is define your research question, as I said. Second is conduct the pilot study. That is a preliminary study. Before you go the full-fledged study in the clinical side, the pilot study is very important. आज के डेट में क्या होता है? जैसे बाकी इंजीनियरिंग में है, they are doing the research in simulation. Simulators, now the medical science are also having the simulators, but it is different kind of simulator. Anatomy में आप कैसे ऑर्गन के एनाटॉमिकल स्ट्रक्चर्स को डिफाइन नहीं करते हैं, तो उसके सिमुलेटर्स अलग से आते हैं, ठीक है. लेकिन यहाँ पे क्या है कि आपको लिटरेचर रिव्यू लिखना है, तो सबसे बड़ा पार्ट है सब you have to focus on research question. So you will make the string for the searching in the Google or other searching engines. So the research question should be very clear, and it will give number of research outcome, number of workers research. That will the bigger funnel. Then conduct the pilot study on the basis of that. Design the search string now after doing the pilot study. Set the paper selection criteria. Means you have to put up the selection criteria, select the studies, extract the data, and then after you will come to the other findings. Next, research gap. Most important thing, I would say most important thing after this, it is the discussion. In the research gap. अगर आपको research gap मिल गया, आपको problem मिल गया, तो आप रास्ता फिर ढूंढना स्टार्ट कर देंगे. आज न कल रास्ता मिलेगा, that is for sure. But अगर आपको problem ही गलत मिला हुआ है, if you have not understood the research gap, then you will land up in different situation. Okay, that is why the research gap is very important. Different kind of research gaps are there. It depends on different kind of research. Knowledge gap, methodological gap, practical gap, population gap, evidence gap. I'm just explaining one or two. The methodological gap. the existing research method for your topic are insufficient. Suppose आर्थराइटिक पेशेंट्स के लिए आप क्या ट्रीटमेंट देते हो? Sometimes you go for the wax treatment, sometimes you go for the laser treatment, sometimes you go for the hydrol treatment, means पूल में जो है आप एक्सरसाइज कराते हैं, है ना, इमोबिलिटी को ये करने, इसके मोबिलिटी को इम्प्रूव करने के लिए बहुत मैं फिजियोथेरेपिस्ट नहीं हूँ, आप ज्यादा जानते हैं इस मामले में. Suppose you feel that these all methodologies are not appropriate enough, so that will come in the methodological gap. I have no time to explain, otherwise I can correlate all the gaps as per your need. Next please. Components of research methodology. What are the components? The research design is very important. Research design, 3/4 sentences are research design. It will include the gap, it will include the method, experimental setup, it will include the objective also, but it will not go in number of sentences. Research design should be very crisp. Sampling means how you will take the sample. Sample means your subjects on which you are doing the research. Data collection, data analysis. So all these work, and ethical consideration is very important now these days. Ethical body आपकी कौन सी है जिसमें आप काम करते हो? Suppose you want to work on any human subjects, so you have to take the permission from ethical clearance. You take the ethical clearance from which body? ICMR की constituted body है ना? Institution में हर institution में एक होती है ना? तो institutional ethical clearance लेते हैं. Next please. Yes. Doctor has already explained what is the quantitative analysis and what is the qualitative analysis. That's why I was saying, Dr. Ram, I could be before him so that I could explain what is the research and then how to apply the tool that could be explained. Anyway, quantitative methods means experimental data. Means you are working and you are receiving the data. Okay? Experimental research, surveys and questionnaires. Sometimes a pandemic appeared, so you survey. You go to the field and take the survey on particular very focused questionnaire, and there is a protocol how to make the questionnaire. That is also a part of methodology. Okay, so you ask the question and you scale the answer 1, 2, 3, 4. So on the basis of the data, and you receive the data from there on the basis of the survey. So that is the quantitative analysis. Longitudinal study. Longitudinal study means suppose you are working on me, I am the patient of yours, and you started the treatment just 5 years ago, and still you are working on me. So throughout the duration, you are working on me and you are just getting the information from me. That is the longitudinal study. Okay, and cross-sectional study. At particular point of time, you are, if you are, suppose I'm giving you one example. One of my PhD students, she, in fact, there were two scholars. Both of them are working in Fortis, Noida. They are basically medical physicists. And the girl was working on radiotherapy, and she was working on the 4th dimension. Means 3 dimension, you know. Okay, 4th dimension means suppose there is a tumor and the radiation is exposed on the tumor to kill it, and During the exposure, the tumor is shrinking. Okay, your body is also shrinking because it is very um, means it's very painful. It is very it damages the tissue. That is why it reflects on your physiology. It reflects on your body, and your body weight is also decreasing. So what happens? The tumor size decreases. Suppose the doctor has taken the decision that you have to go for 35 sessions. So what she did, she took, this is the protocol, the medical protocol. You cannot go away from there. You have to go through the 35 sessions. In between, nothing was there. So what we suggested, we have seen different kind of patients, and we have seen how much tissue is sinking. So we found that after 20 sessions, the tissue is significantly reduced. So why we are focusing in the larger area of radiation? So the radiation was focused on just the tissue part. So adjacent, the healthy tissue was not being damaged. Okay, so that is called cross-sectional study. Means in between of the longitudinal work, we just crossed at particular time and see what is the condition, and then after we change the remedial process. Am I understood? If everything is going overhead, please let me know so that I can change my lip. Okay. The cross-sectional study, correlational study means you are comparing similar kind of work with the two patients, and casual comparative research, meta-analysis, quasi-experimental design, these all are different kind of quantitative analysis. Qualitative as case study, ethnography, that is a qualitative analysis. Means like you are taking the ultrasound, you are taking the, that is the qualitative picture, that is not the quantitative. Suppose you are morphometry, you are using the morphometry software, okay, and then after you see the condition, that would be the quantitative. If it is just the picture, MRI, CT, X-ray, digital X-ray, or ultrasound, that is the quality. Next, please. The result section, the core of. I have 15 minutes time. Doctor? Huh? Chali. Up to 50. The core of paper, the result section. Result means your own findings. And this is the core of your paper, because on the basis of the result, the statistical analysis will be done, and whether your findings are significant or non-significant after doing t-test or ANOVA, whatever you do, okay, on the confidence limit of 95%, okay, or 99.5%, it depends on your study, okay. It includes the tables, figures, or both. It should summarize the findings rather to provide the data in greater details. Sometimes what happens, in general, people are what they are doing. They are putting the figure, and again they are writing everything. They are interpreting everything in the text. It is not necessary. Just make the clear findings, what the table says, what the graph says. Then after, data representation should not repeat the data in visuals. Means if you are giving the table, it should not be in the bar chart or the pie chart or any other chart. Okay. Or if you have already given in the bar chart, it should not be displayed in the table. So repetitive should not be there. Uh, so these are the precautions and how to write the result. Next, please. Then after discussion, it's a literal means we all are sitting together and we discuss our problems. Okay, that is the discussion. Suppose we five, six people or all of us have done. If Dr. Ram has given us the assignment that you have to see the intervention of this modality of the physiotherapeutical treatment on particular disease, he gave us 10 patients to all of us. So we did our experimentation and then after we came together and discussed our results. Suppose my treatment modality is different, your modality is different. I'm just giving you the example. You did your research in ultrasound and cancer. He's physiotherapist, but he did his research on cancer. Uh, so, suppose ultrasound treatment for the orthopedic patients, laser treatment for orthopedic patients, thermal treatment for the orthopedic patients, or other physical modality. And then after we discuss where the significant results we found. Okay, that is the part of discussion. That is one type of discussion. Second, what we did today and what the findings of previous time, whether we have improved further on or not, that is also the uh, discussion. So we declare the main findings in the discussion. We interpret the results. Interpretation of results should not be in the result part. Result part means what it says. Interpretation should not be there. In this, suppose control, treatment group, or sham treatment. Do you know what is sham treatment? Control, treatment group, and sham treatment. Sham treatment, suppose I am giving you any treatment. Suppose traction I am putting on. Okay. If I am giving the treatment of traction, the conditions we are putting for the traction, similar conditions we are putting for the particular patient, the healthy patient. Okay, that, but we are not putting the load. Suppose something happening because of uh, the pulley and other things, it may give any result. So we are eradicating such kind of thing. We are seeing whether the traction is giving any result or not. So one is the patient on which the traction been done. One is the control patient. Healthy patient is free. Okay. One is sham treatment, the diseased person, but conditions are like traction, but we are not putting the load. That is the sham treatment. Understood? Situate in existing literature means compare your findings to the previous expedition, as I said. Clarify unexpected outcome. Any anomaly, if it appears. I did my research on um, osteoarthritic, spinal cord injury, and in my PhD time in on osteoporosis, postmenopausal osteoporosis. We gave the treatment. We made, in fact, we made the bone stimulator. Now these days it is available with the AIMS. So it was basically electromagnetic field generator of particular specification of amplitude and voltage amplitude and frequency. It was frequency modulated outcome 16 hertz from the 14 megahertz. So it was the specification of that. It is patented with us, and uh, we did the research. Okay, I'm just telling what happened that time? One time I got the call from Dr. Dave, not me, my supervisor. Dr. Dave was the very senior orthopedician in All India Institute. That time I was in JNU. He said that we got a patient in trauma center. The, the boy met an accident, multiple fracture happened. He was going in the office, go long, and in between somebody smashed him, uh, and multiple fracture is there, and delayed union, non-union is there. The fracture is not getting callous. Okay. So we are trying, but it is not there. Can you put up your capacitor electrode on the patient? We said that it is for the osteoporotic patients. How we will allow everything will be the consent will be taken from the patient because he is dying basically. The callus is not forming, so the patient is dying. So please let us do something which is not conventional one. The whole body was surrounded with covered with a cast, and under the cast we put the electrodes wherever the major uh, the fractures were there. After 2 months of treatment, the callus was formed, bone density was good, and today the boy is living with his family. So it is the significance of your medical research. So whenever you find the opportunity to do the research, please go ahead with your research. Your brain should always, because you all are having very good IQ, I know, but if you are just doing the routine work, you may be the good doctor, you may be the good practitioner, but you may not be the game changer. If you are giving any modality which is not existing in the practice, so you are basically uh, improving the medical practices. So here, these are the discussion, and I think we have discussed enough. Next, now, uh, how to write the conclusion? The conclusion after doing the research, sorry, discussion. In the conclusion, we should conclude in very loud and very convincing way that our treatment improved the previous findings because it has already been discussed, so you will not have any problem to conclude that. So it should restate the research problem because you are solving the problem, so you have to restate the problem, summarize the key findings, what don't go in here and there. Key findings should be targeted, discuss the implications, what your research implications are there, acknowledge the limitation. You must acknowledge the limitation. That is the good conclusion. If you are avoiding the limitation, if you are hiding your limitations, that is not the good practice. Suggest the future research. Always the betterment possibilities are there. So you should give the future prospects. And in the last, end with the strong statement that after doing this means like in my work, I said that this frequency band, this much amplitude, capacitive electrode is very much significant potential to reverse the osteoporosis in the postmenopausal conditions. So that was the finding, that was the conclusion of my research. Next, please. Thank you. So you are open to have some questions. 2-3 minutes we have. Any one of you may ask any question, otherwise I will come to you. Any question? Okay, now just 2 minutes about those who are seniors, those who are going, and the teachers, those who wishes to have the research fund. We have very liberal kind of researching grant. Earlier we had, uh, still we do have ICMR, DST, DBT, DRDO, UGC, CSIR, number of granting agencies are there. And you have to put your proposal, they are calling for the proposal on different, like rehabilitation pe bahut aata hai. Now all the funds are conserved in the ANRF, Advanced Research Facility. Okay, so you can Google ANRF, you will find. एक मैं बताता हूँ क्या कि जो हमेशा से रहता है, टेक्नोलॉजी फॉर एल्डरली, TIE, technology invention for elderly, like how you, that is also part of rehabilitate, not rehabilitation, assistive devices. Okay, so if you are making any stick or anything, any device, any practice you are inventing, so you can put up the proposal over there in TIE, and you may get the fund up to 50 lakhs. Okay, so and Dr. Sab is there. He has a lot of informations, and I'm always there with you through Dr. Sab. So please feel free if you are putting any proposal to any granting agency if you wish to do that, because research cannot be done with the fee of the student, with the revenue of the students. The fund should be there. Otherwise, the high costed instrument cannot be procured by the institution. The institution has given you good infrastructure. Now onwards, it is the responsibility of the senior students as well as the senior students also along with the teachers. So thank you everybody.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your expertise and teaching our audience about public ethics and its importance. Now, I would like to invite Director Sir to facilitate Sir with a piece of appreciation.
Now I would like to hand over the session to our co-coordinators, Varun and Akshika.
Thank you guys for taking the program smoothly. Moving further in the program, we have more interesting session for you lined up.
Some people protect buildings, some protect borders. But today's speaker protects something even more powerful, that is ideas. Ideas that can change the world, transform lives, and ignite revolutions in science, technology, and business.
In the world racing toward innovation, there are only a few who stand at the crossroad of creativity, learn, and among them stand a visionary, bold, brilliant, and unwavering Mrs. Swarna Srivastava.
It's our absolute pleasure to introduce to you a woman who has become a guardian of innovation, a strategic mind behind patents and trademarks, and a trailblazer in the field of intellectual property.
Now let's talk about the credentials. And trust me, here are as versatile as they are impressive. Mrs. Srivastava hold a B.Tech and M.Tech and LLB. Yes, ma'am is a rare blend of engineer, technologist and a legal expert. She also is certified Indian patent agent and a trademark attorney, bringing sharp legal, intellectual and deep technical insight under one roof. Over 13 years of hand-on experience.
Mrs. Srivastava has walked every corridor of the IP world, from patent drafting, hearings and filings to trademark analysis, copyright enforcement, commercialization strategies, and infringement battles. She is not just protecting innovation, she is enabling it. Ma'am had worked with some of India's most respected institutions, the Indian Council of Medical Research, the Indian Agriculture Research Institute, and the Biotech Consortium of India, and many more. But ma'am's journey didn't stop at excellence. It moved into leadership. She is the founder of Zaya IP, a firm that is making waves by delivering full spectrum IP services, everything from advisory to prosecution, and helping startups and scientists alike turn ideas into assets. Through the Kapila program, she worked as an IP expert, lighting the path for universities and colleges to understand, embrace intellectual property.
Ma'am has conducted over 35 awareness sessions, inspiring researchers, creators, entrepreneurs, and students to think smarter, innovative bigger, and protect better. She is also an author with impactful words like Wings of Agri Innovation, an internationally recognized thought leader. Having participated in programs like a VIPO Korea Summer Schools and earned a certification from the VIPO Academy.
So let's not just welcome her, let's open our minds, prepare to be inspired, and get ready to see intellectual property through the eyes of someone who doesn't just work with it but lives it. Please join me in giving a loud round of applause for Mrs. Swarna Srivastava. And I would also like to invite Director Sir to facilitate now.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. It's really an honor and privilege to be a part of this symposium. And I'm really thankful to Dr. Ram for inviting me in this symposium to share my insights into IPRs, intellectual property rights. So moving ahead, we will be discussing about the types of intellectual property rights, what we have, what we can file in India, how we can suitably protect it, and what is the basic, you can say, the kind of difference between each and every IP. So in Hindi we say Bauddhik Sampada Adhikar means something which is our intellectual output. This is just a brief bio about me, which has already been discussed. Prior to starting my company, I was working with Indian Council of Medical Research as a scientific IP consultant. And previous to that, I've also worked with Indian Agricultural Research Institute, which is in Pusa campus, and Biotech Consortium India Limited, which is like a pioneer in biotech field. So I have more than 13 years of experience. I entered in this field in year 2012 after doing my master's in biotechnology. So just a brief about my company. We are into we are offering all types of IP services, starting from prior searches till the you can say maintenance of your patent. Each and every IP we cater to, like drafting, filing, prosecution, hearings, and these type of things. Yeah. Can anybody tell me what is wrong with this image? So basically, here a person is asking that can I patent my copyrighted trademark? So that person is already having a trademark and he is thinking that his trademark is copyrighted. And then again he is asking, can I patent my copyrighted trademark? So basically, he's talking about three IPs in a single component, but all these three IPs are different as a whole. Next. Yeah. So intellectual property, it's basically a combination of two words, intellectual and property. Intellectual means something coming out of your intellect. जो हम सोचते हैं ना मुझे क्रिएटिव आउटपुट होता है किसी भी फॉर्म में हो सकता है दैट इज योर इंटेलेक्चुअल थिंग एंड वंस यू प्रोटेक्ट इट बिकम्स अ प्रॉपर्टी एंड वंस यू get your you can say exclusive rights over your property then it becomes IPR intellectual property rights. Yeah, first is patents. How many of you know about patents? A general basic definition. Can anybody tell me? Just a one liner on patents. Okay, okay, so basically patents are exclusive rights given by Indian Patent Office. We have four branches in India. So once there is, like suppose there is a product or process with you which is novel, which has novelty features in it, then you can apply for a patent. So basically, these are exclusive rights given by Patent Office for a fixed term of 20 years from the date of the filing. It can be provisional also, it can be complete specification also. So rights are territorial in nature. So suppose you have filed a patent in India and gets granted, and you think to, uh, you can say, launch your product for which you have filed a patent in India to launch a product in US or Bangladesh or somewhere else. Then you can't, you can say, effectively say that, yeah, my patent is there. Because since the rights are territorial in nature, all the IP rights remain within the Indian, you can say, jurisdiction only. So suppose you're developing a product, let's say, for inhalers for asthmatic patients, and then you figure out that apart from India, you have a big market, you can say, share of diabetic people in US also or in Pakistan also. Then we as IP professionals advise to file a patent in India as well as in those countries where you feel that people of who can use your medical device or who will be there willing to take your technology or your product also. You file a patent there also, because filing a patent particular in India will not give you rights in other countries. And once a patent is there with you, you have all rights with you, then you can stop others from using your IP, using your patent. Okay, it can be a product, it can be a process, it can be a composition. Suppose you have developed a drug delivery device, or suppose you have developed some other component like some type of composition, like descaling composition or something like that. So the fixed term is 20 years from the date of the filing. And once the patent is granted, you have to maintain your patent by filing this thing, by you can submission of the fee, which we say annuity fee, or you can say maintenance fee also. For entire 20 years, you will have to pay to maintain your patent. If you are not paying the fee in the required timeline, then your patent gets abandoned. Next. Yeah. So these are the patentability criteria mentioned by Indian Patent Office. These are basically general patentability criteria which is being practiced at global level. So first is novelty. So if you want to file a patent, there should be some you can say novelty characteristics, or you can say novelty part in your product or process. It's not like you are reinventing the wheel. There should be something new with your product or composition. Then inventive step. Inventive step is basically a type of technical advancement we say. Suppose let's say something, you can say state of the art technology is there. Some type of development has been done in a certain technology or in certain domain. Then once you make any advancement over there, which is technical in nature, which is like it can be in sense of efficacy also, it can be in sense of, you can say, this thing, cost effectiveness, or it can be in sense of a technical solution to a technical problem. So if these types of technical advancement is there, then your technology is set to have inventive step. And third is industrially applicable. That means industrial applicability. So it should have some utility. It's not like that just you create some random thing and you want to file a patent for that. There should be some utility. It should work for, you can say, citizens of India. It should work for the public in large. Then we have patentable subject matter. So patentable subject matter is basically Section 3 of the Indian Patents Act 1970, which outlines the things, or you can say particular characteristics, in which if your particular innovation falls, then in that case your invention becomes non-patentable. So this is section 3. Thank you. So, any invention which is frivolous in nature, or which claims anything obviously contrary to well-established natural laws. So, we are all are aware of the natural laws. So, if you develop something contrary to that, suppose I say that I am developing a machine which doesn't like behave according to gravity, gravity doesn't affect it, or something like that, then it will not be patentable. Anything which has which is injurious to public health, or which is against the law of morality and all. Suppose I'm developing a knife type of thing, or a weapon or something like that, a type of tool to break any lock, or so that like somebody can perform a theft in a particular house or a home or something like that. So these type of products, or you can say technologies, are not non-patentable in India. Then the mere discovery of a scientific principle or the formulation of an abstract theory. If you develop something like that, then in that case, we will see, then we can advise for a copyright filing, but patents don't fall for this category. A mere discovery of a new property, a new use of a known substance. So already we are aware of, let's take an example, already we are aware of paracetamol tablet. We know it has three characteristics. It has antipyretic properties, analgesic properties, and anti-inflammatory properties. Suppose, let's say, some fine day you discover that paracetamol can be used for some other thing also, like curing dandruff or something like that. Then you think that now I should file a patent because it's not a known no, it's not a known thing, and it's a new thing which I have discovered. So this is not patentable in India because new use or new characteristics of a known substance or known process. Then 3E is a substance obtained by mere admixture, resulting only in the aggregation of the properties of the components. We can take example of this lemonade. Some people like in a sweeter way, some people like in a salt, in a like salty way. Let's say what I did was that I mixed both sugar and this thing salt in the this shikanji, you can say, this thing lemon juice water and salt and this thing sugar. So what happened actually in that case? We are figuring out that both the tastes is there, both the tastes are there. The salt, we can, sorry, हम देख सकते हैं कि वो खट्टा मीठा दोनों होगा. That means salt, this particular saltiness is there, the sweetness is there. So just add mixture. So similar way, if you're creating something in the lab and you're thinking to get a patent over that, then Indian Patent Office will not allow it. Then the mere arrangement or rearrangement or duplication of known devices functioning independently. So what we can give an example for that is, suppose a phone is there and we have added, like, not take example of mobiles. Suppose a camera is there and we have added some more component, and so that we have like added something so that it can this thing perform other features also. Let's say combination of two electronic devices you're doing, and it is performing basically only those two features for which the devices are being named off. So in that case, it is not patentable. Then a method of agriculture or horticulture. So basically, the method of growing of plants or propagation of plants and all those things are not patentable in India again. So any process for the medicinal, surgical, curative, prophylactic, or other treatments of human beings. So method of treatment is not patentable in India, but diagnostic kits, vaccines, and those medicines are patentable. So if you have developed this SOP or something like that to cure a patient of a particular disease, then those things are not patentable in India. Plants and animals as a whole, you can't patent any particular plant or animal, something like that. A mathematical business method or a computer program per se. So you've developed any method or to solve a particular puzzle, or you can say, or a program, something like that. Then you can take a copyright for that. So again, this thing is not patentable. Then again, literary, dramatic, musical, or artistic, or any aesthetic creation means कोई भी creativity आपने की, कुछ कोई photograph खींच लिया, या आपने कोई poem लिखी, या कोई story लिखी, something like that. So again, you can file a copyright for that. Patents उसमें नहीं मिलते हमें. Then a mere scheme or rule or method of performing mental act or method of playing game. So like we can take an example for that कि Rubik cube होता है. Let's suppose कि किसी ने उसका एक नया तरीका discover किया to solve that cube. तो क्या होता है कि हम उस केस में again फिर हम उसमें patent नहीं ले सकते. Presentation of information, like you create a PPT or आपने कोई और तरीका निकाला present करने का, type of publication or something like that, then again it's not patentable. Then topography of integrated circuits. These things are not patentable in India. There is separate act and separate law for that to procure that particular IP, but they don't fall in the category of patents. Then an invention which in effect is traditional knowledge. Traditional knowledge क्या होता है कि traditional knowledge होता है कि हमारी जो दादी नानी जो बरसों से हम चला आ रहा है कि हाँ ये चीज़ हमें यूज़ करते हैं. चोट लगी तो हल्दी का एक पेस्ट लगा दिया, या फिर थोड़ा सा एसिडिटी या गैस टाइप को फील हुआ स्टमक में तो आपने हल्का हींग ले लिया, अजवाइन खा लिया, सौंफ का शरबत पी लिया, समथिंग लाइक दैट. तो वो ट्रेडिशनल नॉलेज में है. तो ट्रेडिशनल नॉलेज में क्या होता है कि वी नो दैट कि जो आपके जो ये हींग है, सौंफ है, आपके टर्मरिक है, नीम है, सो इनके सर्टेन बेनिफिट्स हैं. तो वो चीज को इफ यू फील लाइक दैट कि हाँ एंटी माइक्रोबियल और एंटी इन्फ्लेमेटरी प्रॉपर्टीज ऑफ these medicinal plants or leaves, if I plan to take a patent on that, so that is not allowed in India again. Then section 4, no patent shall be granted in respect of an invention relating to atomic energy again. So if your invention is falling under this category, again it will not be patented in India. Talking about patent filing, these are the relevant forms which are required if you're planning to file a patent in India. So, first is application for grant of patent, that is form 1. So form 1 basically क्या होता है, एक type of you can say bibliographic type of एक sheet होती है in which we enter the details of the applicant, details of the inventors, address of the correspondent. Suppose let's say they have hired a patent agent or a law firm, then details we mention on the address of service. फिर हम उसमें ये भी डालते हैं कि आपके जो form 2 is basically for the details of the invention, that is you can say literature part, the document जो हम लिखते हैं कि टाइटल क्या है, एब्स्ट्रैक्ट क्या है, क्लेम्स क्या है, that is form 2. So about form 2 we fill in the form 1 also, that how many claims are there, the number of pages in form 2, the number of claims, the number of drawings and all. So those things we mention. If there is any usage of biological diversity of India or not, then in that case we have to take permission of the National Biodiversity Authority of India (NBA). So that also we have to accept in form 1, that yes, our invention is using the biological material. So that is form 1. Basically giving you an overview about the invention, the title, abstract and all. Then form 2. Form 2 is basically you have to fill the details, like each and every head, like title क्या है, abstract क्या है, objective क्या है, field क्या है, then description, with drawings, you have to explain the drawings also, then claims and all. So form 2 is basically a very lengthy type of like document which we prepare for 20 to 30 pages, in which we fill each and every detail of the invention. So the form 2 is basically the thing which is a reading document, you can say, to study about any patent. Then form 3. Form 3 is like basically we're accepting that whether we have filed a similar or related patent of this technology in other jurisdiction or not. So statement and undertaking for the corresponding foreign patent applications. And suppose let's say you have filed a foreign or you can say other patent application in other countries also for this, then in each every 6 months you have to inform to the patent office what is the current status of that in patent. Suppose let's say I filed in China also. Then in every 6 months I will, with the help of this form, I will have to inform to patent office that what is the current status. Let's say examine हो गया, we have to update. अब उसमें जिसमें FER है, you have to update. FER submit हो गया, okay, then you have to update. Suppose hearing has come up, then again you have to update. So basically, patent office should be apprised of your patent which has not been filed in India, as per form 3. Then form 5, declaration of inventorship. So here inventors declare that we are the true inventors of this invention, but we are assigning the rights to the applicant. Applicant means the owner of the patent. Once the patent gets granted, all rights will vest with the applicant only. Then form 9, request for early publication, that is an optional thing. If you don't file this form, then automatically after 18 months your patent application will be published on the website of the Indian Patent Office. Then form 18, request for examination. It's a mandatory form. Without putting a request in front of the patent office, your patent will not be examined, despite of the fact that it has been published, but no action will be taken. So form 18 is a mandatory component. By submitting a particular the amount which is required, the fee, and this form 18, then only you will be able to let your application be examined by the Indian Patent Office. Then form 26, if you are hiring attorney or agent, then this is the POA, power of attorney. You will have to submit that also. And if you are not you are taking help of the agent, if you are filing on your own, then in that case form 26 is not required. The statutory patent fees, it can be paid through offline or online. Generally we prefer online mode, so in that case we do by UPI or net banking and all. So this is the prerequisite. Suppose you're creating your account, the applicant is creating or the patent agent or the law firm is creating. Then in that case, these things are the mandatory requirements. So you have to create with the help of you have to create the ID and password. Then digital signature or e-sign, that we take from e-mutra. From that, it gets automatically integrated in the account. Then valid banking facility, debit card, credit card, or UPI, something like that. Then what you do is whatever forms I cited in the previous slide, you have to create a PDF version of those forms. Then you have to upload those forms one by one. The e-filing module will ask you that what is the title, the abstract, the submit this thing, form 2 and all. So accordingly, you have to upload those things. Then you just make the payment. There is first, prior to the payment, there will be e-signing component integrated. So once each and everything is, you can say, uploaded on the filing module, it will ask for the signing. So each and every document will be e-signed with your e-sign, the agents, this thing e-sign. Then after that, the last step is the payment. You make the required payment. It will, by counting the number of sheets, the number of claims, it will automatically tell you what will be the amount which you will have to pay. It will automatically calculate, and you just make the payment, and then you will get the acknowledgement receipt. The CBR, you can say, the filing receipt will be generated with the application number, the date and time, and all. So that was for the patents. So what we learned was it is the term of protection is 20 years, and we can get a patent for any product or process or composition. Form 1, 2, 3, 5, 18, and 9 and 26 are required. So moving ahead, the second IP, copyrights. So copyright is given basically for literary artistic works. So if any literary artistic, dramatic, musical, or something like that, painting, cinematographic works are there, then you can apply for a copyright protection for that. So patents take basically more time to get to clear their steps and like the timelines and all. But copyright is a more simpler way. But we can't go for, suppose let's say patent is taking time, we can go for and file a copyright instead of that, because each and every category of the work goes for a particular type of IP. So copyright law basically protects your expression of the idea. Suppose I have a thing in my mind that I want to write a story, so that idea will not let me file a copyright for that, but the expression of that idea, suppose I've written a story on that, or the poem or song, something like that, then I can file a copyright for that, and no formal registration is required. But if you feel that your idea, or you can say the expression which you are doing, like a photograph, or the thing, there's a song or your poem might be copied, might be given, not given a due credit, and someone might put his or her name on your work, then in that case we advise to go for copyright filing. The copyright registry is again in Dwarka, where the Indian Patent Office is. So the example I've given is here of Ramayana. So everybody knows the story of the Ramayana, the characters and all. But in every TV this channel on the TV, or you see that each and like Ramayana will be played by some or the other, you can say, director or producer. The story is different, the characters are different, but the expression of ideas, the story is same. The characters are also same, but the expression of idea is different. So this way we can file a copyright for that, for expression of our idea. And the term of protection is lifetime of the author. From the date it gets created, you will the lifetime it will be there till the particular author is alive. Then you add 60 years. That is the term of protection. And the procedure of registration is that there is a form 14, and attached to that form 14 is statement of particulars and statement of further particulars. So we fill the details in that. So in form 14, we basically fill who is the author, who is this thing, applicant, or you can say the owner, what is the title of the work, in which category the work is falling. Suppose let's say it's a software thing, then we put that thing. What is the language we add? Suppose HTML, Java, Python, and all. We add that thing. Then we give a brief, you can say, gist of the particular work which the author is seeking or copyright. Then suppose if software is then we give a source code and object code also to the copyright registry together with the application. So we just upload all those forms, create an account, upload these forms, pay the suitable fee. That is rupees 500 only for the copyright. If it's a simple work, then POA, and then if you want, you can put an extra of your work also, and screenshots of your, suppose the app is there or software is there, and screenshots of that how this particular thing is working, that you can upload. Then just make the payment and you will get the acknowledgement receipt, and then this thing, and this thing you will get the filing receipt also with the title of the work, the date, time, image, and everything. So that will be your proof for your copyright application. Similar proof will be there for the patents also. So moving to third IP, trademarks. An example of famous trademark of India. Sorry, an example. Have you heard about Tata? Is it of India? Okay, so trademark is basically a type of a sign, symbol, or you can say any mark or tagline or slogan which you can create to identify your brand. Your brand. Okay, it should be basically signifying your brand, your the type of services which you are about to provide. It can be of any delivery type of thing or consultancy type of thing, or you can say food this product. Suppose you want to deliver some products or create some medicinal these devices and all. So depending on that, we advise the clients to accordingly create the logo if they want to create the logo, or if you want to get a trademark over their word mark, then accordingly we guide them. So it basically goes for the relation to the goods or services with respect to which it is registered. And once the trademark is there with you, you can prevent others from using a substantially identical or deceptively similar mark in relation to the goods or services registered by the mark. Registered by the mark. So basically, trademarks fall into two categories: goods and services. So there are classes for that. So if your particular mark is falling under the class of the goods, then you have to mention that class while filing a trademark application. If it's falling under the class of services, like it can be consultancy, legal, also delivery type of things, then accordingly you have to fetch the particular class and you have to mention in your trademark application. And you can file a trademark for word mark or logo, tagline, music, smell, and all. The term of trademark is again 10 years from the date of its registration. But trademark can be renewed. You can you can say retain your trademark for like perpetually. Every 10 years you can make the payment and you can renew it for another 10 years. But unlike for copyrights and patents, once they are gone, they are lapsed, they are lapsed. So once your trademark certificate is there with you, which is provided by the trademark registry, you can use this symbol of R within the circle. Till the moment the certificate is not with you, you have to use the this word TM in the superscript of the mark, or you can say the logo. You can't use this registered mark until unless the certificate is with you. It's not. It's a legal offense basically when your trademark is not yet registered. Next slide. These are the category of marks which are allowed in India to be filed as a trademark. Word marks, device marks. Device marks is basically terminology we use in the trademark registry for the logos. The service trademarks, certification marks, collective marks, shape marks, sound marks, and all. So here I have provided examples. If you go for product marks, Adidas is there, Coca-Cola is there. Then collective marks. Collective marks goes for the basically association or something like that. So one mark CA is there. So people, or you can say chartered accountants who are associated with this organization, or you say this association, are allowed to use this mark, the CA, a particular type of font and color you can see. Then service marks. Now Infosys is a type of a service provider, so that is a service mark. TripAdvisor is there, again service provider. Then we have certification marks like AgMark and Woolmark and all. Woolmark means 100% wool. AgMark means agro-based product. Then again we have series marks. So Lays you can see only the color is different and maybe the picture of the chips is different, but rest everything is same. So that is series marks. So these are the few examples of the Indian trademarks, famous brands. You can see Jhandu, Ayo, Imami and all, Ramdev, Badnath, Dabur. So moving to another IP, designs. Designs are basically the shape, configuration, appearance of any particular object, or you can say article or component or device or apparatus. We can say. So when we let's say, talk about this mic, okay? So we are seeing this mic as a whole, this elongated part is a round part and all. So if you are finding a design application for this mic, no, then in that case we have to capture the this thing, photographs, or you can see we have to create 9 diagrams of this mic in 6 to 7 types of views, like how it is appearing from the top, how it is appearing from the bottom, the front, back, left and right. So बाहर से कैसा दिखता है, लंबा है, यहाँ पे मतलब थोड़ा सा नेट टाइप है, यहाँ पे क्रॉस सेक्शनल वी कैन से टाइप ऑफ थिंग है. तो ये चीज अगर हम प्रोटेक्ट करेंगे, आउटर साइड का जो अपीयरेंस द शेप है, दैट इज डिजाइन. बट इफ आई एम कैप्चरिंग द फंक्शनैलिटी ऑफ दिस माइक, देन आई विल हैव टू टेक द हेल्प ऑफ द पेटेंट. पेटेंट में फंक्शनलिटी होगी, डिजाइन में सिर्फ अपीयरेंस ओनली, द थिंग्स विच वी कैन सी थ्रू आवर नेकेड आइज, दैट थिंग्स कैन ओनली कैप्चर थ्रू द डिजाइन एप्लीकेशन। उसमें फंक्शनैलिटी का रोल नहीं होता, ओनली लाइन डायग्राम्स और इमेजेस चाहिए होते कि अपीयरेंस के लिए। Then protection is for 10 years from the date of registration, which is further extendable for 5 years. So total 15 years का हमें मिलता है if we go for that. So again, if we have the rights for that, in that case it allows the owners to exclude others from making, importing, selling, or you can say hiring or offering articles. So it basically goes for each and every IP. If you have rights for that, then you can prevent others from using your IP in any way, because वो चीज़ आपकी हो गई, आप owner हो. If you really want your IP to be practiced by some other else, then you can give license for a term of 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, depending on your call. तो दैट इज द थिंग कि बेसिकली प्रॉपर्टी आपकी है, बट आप लाइसेंस दे, ठीक है आप यूज कर लो, रॉयल्टीज हमें दे देना। जस्ट लाइक वी हैव ओनरशिप ऑफ ए हाउस, हम टेनेंट्स को रख लेते हैं कि हाँ 2 साल के आप रह लो या 1 साल, वॉट एवर। सो दैट इज द थिंग। सो आपकी आईपी कोई यूज नहीं कर सकता if it is there with you, but only thing is it should be registered one. You should be having the correct certificate of that particular IP. It can be trademarks, patents, designs, GI, anything. Okay, move ahead. सो दीज आर एग्जाम्पल्स ऑफ डिजाइंस। मैंने यूएस के डिजाइंस रखे हैं ताकि आप लोग को थोड़ा सा अच्छे से आइडिया मिल जाए। दैट इज ऑफ आईपॉड, ये कोक की बॉटल है, दैट इज स्टैच्यू ऑफ लिबर्टी। सो व्हाट हैपेंस इन यूएस आल्सो नो, व्हेन वी सी दैट दोस कैरेक्टर्स ना, बैटमैन, आयरन मैन एंड ऑल मूवीज जो हम देखते हैं, उनके जो केप होते हैं, जो गाउन्स होते हैं ना, वो एक्चुअली प्रोटेक्टेड होते हैं थ्रू डिजाइंस। ऐसा नहीं कि उन्होंने मूवी में लॉन्च कर दिया एंड एनीबॉडी कैन मेक कार्टून कैरेक्टर्स और समथिंग लाइक दैट। सो सपोज जिनके पास राइट्स होते हैं डिजाइंस के ना, then suppose let's say like example I was seeing some like few months back, a toy company was there, and for some these type of I guess minions or something like that उनको बनाना था in the form of toys, so they had to take license from the particular maybe director or producer जो इसके पास rights है design के उस movie के। So इसलिए if the IP is there with a particular person and that, and you want to use it in form of toys or garments or apparel बनाना, क्लोथ में प्रिंट करना, लाइक टाइटैनिक का भी वो पोज बहुत फेमस हुआ था लाइक 15-20 इयर्स बैक, टी शर्ट्स में हम देखते थे। तो ये सब चीज़ें हैं कि बेसिकली अगर आईपी है उसकी किसी के पास, यू कांट इन्फ्रिंज एनीबॉडीज आईपी, यू हैव टू टेक लाइसेंस। आप 1 साल के लिए लो, 2 साल के लो, डिपेंडिंग ऑन योर कॉल। नेगोशिएट करो अपने टर्म्स विद द एप्लीकेंट, विद द ओनर, कि हम इतने साल के यूज़ करना है, बट हमारी कैपेसिटी है और हम इतने आपको अपफ्रंट फी पे करने की है कि रॉयल्टीज में आपको 5% या 10% ऐसे ही दे सकते, वी कैन गो बियॉन्ड दैट। सो बोथ पार्टीज लाइक सिट टुगेदर, दे फिगर आउट कि क्या टर्म्स हो सकते, अकॉर्डिंगली लाइसेंस एग्रीमेंट या टेक ट्रांसफर एग्रीमेंट फिर हो जाता है। So if you don't have enough funding capacity or enough infrastructure or lab facilities and all, then in that case you can put your technology कि आपका patent है, you want this technology to be licensed to the third parties, and it is entirely your call कि आप उसको exclusive license देना चाहो just to one party, or you can put for non-exclusive license कि whoever is willing to take my technology for 1 year or 2 year and want to make product over that, then they can take. So it's entirely your call because you're the owner of that particular IP. And these are the Indian acts related to the IPR. I've this patents act, trademarks act, designs act, GI, copyright act. So I've only covered major IPs. There are this thing. There are other like acts. This thing also IPs also. GI is there. Geographical indication. Geographical indication में क्या होता है कि जैसे particular suppose any food material is there or handicraft is there which is representing a particular geography of India. Then in that case we go for GI protection. That is geographical indication. So first GI जो इंडिया में फाइल हुआ था वो that was Darjeeling tea. So in India like we have now more than 100 GIs with us. So क्या होता है कि suppose like say particular area है या soil की quality है, वहाँ का environment है, air है, humidity है. If these things play a role in a development of a particular product, it can be food thing या आपने कुछ नया बनाया, कुछ crop cultivate किया या कोई handicraft बनाया, then in that case you can go for a GI. Like लखनऊ की चिकनकारी है, कोल्हापुरी चप्पल्स है आपके, then again this thing कांचीपुरम की सिल्क्स हैं, फिर शिमला के एप्पल्स हैं. So these things are there. So if you want to like if you are growing this the Darjeeling tea in your area, suppose let's say कि दार्जिलिंग में क्यों दिल्ली में वो चाय का बगान वो क्रिएट करके देखते हैं, तो जो टेक्सचर होता है लीव्स का, जो एरोमा होता है, जो फ्लेवर, जो एसेंस जो आपको मिलेगा, सेम थिंग वो आपको यूपी या दिल्ली के सॉइल में वो चीज़ क्रॉप को मतलब प्रोपोगेट करके या ग्रो करके आपको वो चीज़ नहीं मिलेगी. In that case only we can think to go for a GI application. अगर वो सेम क्रॉप दूसरे स्टेट में या दूसरे पार्ट ऑफ द कंट्री में अगर इफ वी लाइक प्रोपोगेट और इफ वी लाइक ग्रो एंड ऑल अगर सेम कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स नहीं हो रही देन इन दैट केस ओनली. So that's it. We've come to the end of the session. If any queries are there, feel free to ask, or you can drop a mail or drop a message also. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am, for sharing your valuable insights and inspiring us with your incredible journey in the world of innovation and intellectual property. We are truly grateful for your time and wisdom. We are surely taking your knowledge back with us today. Now I request Director Sir to facilitate this.
Uh, we have come to the conclusion of this research symposium, and but I want the students to stay back after have you have a lunch. So the basic purpose of this research symposium is to give you an introduction. It is not to give you an extensive knowledge, but to just a primer, I would say. And I hope the research symposium has served its purpose. The only thing that probably we have students from the first year as well as up to the master's level. So each person's understanding is different. And how you take the thing. There are some things which the speakers have told which probably only the master students will be able to understand because they are facing some challenges. And the first year student, he will take some cues of, okay, today I learned what is a patent. That much is enough. So when you listen to any kind of program, any kind of symposium, any lecture, the your knowledge level, your level determines how much you are gaining. But it is very, very important to listen to the speakers patiently and with an open ear so that you never know when you are going to hear something which is going to change your life. So, with these words, I would like to draw a conclusion to the research symposium and wish you all the best. Thank you. Thank you, all the speakers. Thank you.
We will take a short break here. We have one more speaker left, so we will continue after the break. We respect your patience. Thank you very
अबे भाई जल्दी आ जा भाई अब मेरा भी एक स्पीकर रहता है मेरी वाला एक भी ले या तो यही रख दो तीन चार वीडियो मेरी भी आ जा अरे यार वो इतना आईफोन से एंगल देख अंशुका अंशुका यू प्लीज अंशुका यू क्लिक ना
खुशी कर रही है
आजा तुम भी आ जाओ जल्दी
तू पीछे हो जा अबे तो बहुत गैप आ रहा है तो दोनों फोन से एक साथ क्लिक कर सकते हैं ओ भाई इधर इधर
जब करना प्लीज आज पे आज पे ना आज पे ना
नहीं करूंगा सॉरी कुछ नहीं होगा
आज पे करो सबने कर लेगा
क्या पता नहीं क्या मैं तो ये करने वाला ये देखिए मैंने सारी कटवाई है चार पूरी ऐसी मैंने कटवाई है मैंने मना भी करा था कि मत करवाओ ये मैं देखिए ना इससे पहले मैं ये कर रहा था वैसे
मेरी नहीं आई मेरी तो अच्छी सोनाली के साथ सोनाली के साथ सोलो लेना सोनाली के साथ सोलो ले सोनाली के साथ सोलो ले तुम ले ना देख अंशिता लुक एट मेरी के लिए इतनी बात है तो ये बोल रहा है यार तुम फोटो ले लो इतनी सारी खींची सपेश ले तू मैं अगर मैं पोस्ट चेंज ये सपेश हम सेक्टर में नहीं है ना ये अभी होगा ये दोनों तो है 15 मिनट बाद फिर होगा ठीक है ऐसे ऊपर की इसी जगह सेंटर में चलो यार खाना है बस चलना भी तो लगी तो लाइन वो पहले और I know this. अभी कहाँ पे पागल है क्या दिक्कत है यहाँ रख के क्या दिक्कत है अबे गंदा रहेगा सर क्या गंदा विश्वास है अपना साफ सुथरा खाना तो मत खा लो वही मतलब वोट पहन के कह रहे हैं यहाँ खा लो तो एक सेकंड अभी इसी को अच्छा लग रहा है खा लो पीछे बैठो ये नहीं वही चल लिया वही वही करा पहले करा
नहीं नहीं वो तो नहीं चल रहा ठीक है सर ठीक है ओके सर क्रॉस क्लिक कर दिया
क्रॉस क्या लाइव नहीं है
लाइव है
चल रहा है ना अभी लाइव आया है बंद कर नहीं बंद करता पॉज भी होगा ओए वरुण पूरा लाइव आया यहां पे लोग अपने कर रहे हैं हां हां अब आ भी गई पूरी खुशी का
नहीं पॉज का ऑप्शन नहीं है
नहीं है
क्रॉस कर दूं
पॉज है
क्रॉस कर दूं
हां पे बंद हो जाएगी फिर सेकंड करनी पड़ेगी
हाँ सेव हो जाएगा ना अपने आप
हां वो तो हो जाएगा देख लियो तो खाने का
सर ने बोला यार
ट्रेन का ऑप्शन आता है ट्रेन का